So, Michelle, you mentioned that one of your job duties really is to be the bad guy, or, that's the position you take. And there's a lot of HOAs out there that don't have that type of person. I mean, they're self-maintained. There is no professional that is doing it. And I'm wondering, is that like one of your best customers? The board runs into that problem where, the people on the board are becoming the bad guy, and then you get to step in. That's just my idea of how it works.
It's one of my best customers. It's also one of my toughest. Okay. And the reason being is because when a board is what a homeowners association is called what's self-rule, meaning the board of directors is basically trying to do everything. They don't like to go knock on people's doors, not literally, but saying, hey, you need to pay this, or hey, you can't do this, or no parking on the lawn. So people get away with a little more stuff, but then they want to get a management company in to stop it. And it's the hardest thing because all of a sudden you got somebody coming in here and saying, no, you can't do this. Well, I've done it for a couple of years. Well, we understand that, but it's not ever been a rule that you could do that. So it makes me even not liked even more sometimes than that. And it's harder. It's harder to go into something that's not been maintained as far as a set of rules and regulations or covenants and stuff. But, again, that's people call and complain about somebody. If I have to send a letter out an email, it's always, I went through the property and saw this. I never state, oh, so-and-so called, or even that anybody on the property complained. I always make it look like I'm the one that took notice of it, or I'm the one that took that picture, not your neighbor down the street.
It's very judicious of you.
I try.
Yeah, I can see how there's been probably multiple times where it gets real interesting. You see all the dynamics. Some people probably just don't even like each other, so they're kind of like...
It is. It can be like a feud between neighbors, and you just kind of try and de-escalate. Sometimes there's no saving it, though. They're going to complain about each other, even if one thing's done, and they'll go on to something else. There's always that person that's going to complain about something.
But you're good at conflict resolution. I feel like you enjoy this some. You like bringing people to the... I do, to a way. But that doesn't mean I don't get off the phone with them and just cuss out. I mean... Well, you're human.
I'll just, I mean, my frustration's got to go somewhere, so usually it just goes into air once I, am off the phone with them or whatnot, or I'll sit there and type an email and then just delete, saying, okay, I can't send it, but I'm typing it out.
Well, maybe part of this personality of yours stems from the, upstate New York. You've got that tough as nails, blunt to your face. This is how it's going to be. I got to imagine that helps you some. Dealing with Southerners,
I'm sure
sometimes that just cuts right to the chase.
And I grew up pretty independent. I was the only child. My parents worked a lot, so I was on my own a lot. I mean, nowadays it's illegal, but I was babysitting by the time I was 9.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, back in the day, that wasn't a bad thing. Nowadays, you can't even be alone unless you're 9. So I grew up pretty independent, so I guess that's part of it, too.